This is Working for Progress, a podcast that connects us through conversations about how we craft our working lives and make progress. We'll be joined by our communities from Tribe Porty and Keystone. Tribe Porty is a community co-working space and creative hub. We are full of entrepreneurs, social enterprises, freelancers, charities, and SMEs. Keystone is the other social enterprise which supports women to reimagine their working lives. We do this by providing a holistic approach to business through courses, programs, mentoring, group coaching, and events.
Welcome to today's conversation. I'm Alice, the community manager at Tribe Porty.
And I'm Dani, founder and director of both Tribe Porty and Keystone.
Here at Working for Progress, we're all about connecting good people, sharing their stories, their challenges, and the progress they make for themselves and for others. We hope this podcast challenges your ways of thinking and inspires you to work for progress.
Working for Progress starts with simple pleasures, finishes in awe, and meanders through career journeys in between. Today we welcome Hannah Lowe. Hannah is a Chinese-Scottish actor and writer based in Edinburgh. She makes vibrant and narrative-led work for stage. As an actor, Hannah has worked with a wealth of organisations across the UK, including Netflix, BBC Scotland and the Royal Lyceum Theatre. Welcome, Hannah. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
I have to confess, I don't know if I've told you this, but I saw you in Cinderella, or pantomime, yeah.
No.
And you were evil.
I was the evil stepmom.
You were so evil. And so when you first came, I thought, I have this weird feeling that I don't like her. And I know that's because she was really good at being bad in Cinderella.
I was a baby. I was like
really
17. I was actually really upset that I wasn't Cinderella.
Were you?
Yeah, no, I was fine.
Anyways, you did a fantastic job. And
Thank you.
I realize how ridiculous that is. And I at least I recognize where these feelings were coming from.
Yes. Yes. That's very funny.
Well, we're going to start out nice and simple. I'd love to know your 5 simple pleasures.
Oh, 5 simple pleasures. Swimming in the ocean.
Nice.
I really like that. I really like showers, like warm showers. Warm bed, cold room.
Yeah.
Specifically with fresh sheets.
Nice.
That's very good. So many. I like eating. That's great.
It is great.
And most things, actually. Most food is lovely. And 5th one, I really like when I get to play my Switch.
Yes.
On public transport. Instead of having to do work on my laptop, I'm like, I don't have to work. I can just go on Animal Crossing or do some Zoom Mario Kart. That's always great. It's great when you get to make that choice.
Switch seems to be having a comeback, no?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I only know it as the new Switch because I used to have Nintendo DS, with the little stick thing. That was my childhood one. And then I think in lockdown maybe they came out with the Switch and everybody was like, I've got nothing to do, so I will buy this.
Oh, so it's a new thing. So that's how out of touch I am. So it's a new Switch that you're into.
Switch.
I was thinking it was the old Switch.
No.
Ah, right. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. I didn't know there was an old one.
Yes. Well, there is a divide here in the age department. Tell me about your values and maybe your top 3 values that you live by.
Really basic, but just be kind to all of the people is my main one. Even if somebody's not being kind, you can be kind, right? So that, I guess, that is the big one. That first one is the big one. Just be a nice person. The second one is I try to not work all the time.
Fair.
So I try and have at least one day off a week where I try not to do stuff and spend time with people who you like.
Nice.
That's kind of it.
Love it. Do you know where the kindness one comes from? Is this something that you've had as long as you can remember, or is there something that made you feel actually I'm gonna put this front and center to how I live?
I think maybe I've always been like that. And I guess maybe it's like a woman when you're raised. It's like, be nice to everybody. And then I guess when you're old enough, you can make the conscious choice that that actually is the way you should be for yourself and not for other people, right? So I'm definitely made that switch to be kind to everybody for me and not necessarily for other people, which I think is an interesting thing, but also a nice thing, because it is nice for other people when you're super kind and they get lots from it too. But it's also does lots for you. So when everybody's like, women shouldn't have to be kind and nice all the time, I'm kind of like, yes, I agree with that, but I want to be kind and nice all the time, so I'll do that still.
Like it. It's good to recognise both those sides, isn't there?
Yeah.
The work one's interesting. So is that something that you put into practice in the sense that you don't want to just be your work, or does it help? Like, what's the reasoning behind not working all the time?
I'm really lucky. I really like what I do. So it's really easy to work all the time because it's like fun. And I'm super grateful to get to do it. So sometimes it's hard to like not work all the time because I'll just be thinking about it because it's great. Like, and I'm super aware that like a lot of me and a lot of what I do and a lot of my life is wrapped up in my work because it all kind of combobulates as like a whole big entity. So I try and do like no work at all time where I do something really unrelated to anything. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll do like a Sunday reset and like clean stuff, or like do random knitting even though I'm bad at it, or I don't know, like go on a big walk with somebody else's dog because I don't have one. So I try and make sure like I do at least something that's not related to work, where I try not to talk about it either, because when you like it and all your friends work in it, it's like, yes, we'll all just chat, but I try and do that.
Tell me what you're working on right now.
I'm working on two plays that I'm writing. I'm about to go on a project for 2 weeks, which is like an interdisciplinary artist collective project where I'm a performer in that. So a like lead artist person will say, I want to do a show or make a theatre piece about this, and we'll all help them do that for a couple of weeks. And I also teach small people drama down the road from here, which is very nice. So those are kind of like my active projects at the moment.
Yeah.
So quite a lot of projects.
Nice. Thinking about your working career to date, albeit you are young still, what is the biggest risk that you've taken?
Oh, definitely like the whole thing. I think being freelance is really risky, and I think working in theatre is really risky because there's no money, and there's no consistent money. So when it's like, is it risky? Yes, it's very risky, and it's really a big privilege to be able to get to do a career that is risky. And I probably only get to do that because I'm young and have no dependents and don't pay a mortgage and all of those things, right? So it's very risky to do it, and I'm very privileged to be able to take that risk and get to do stuff that I like. But yeah, the switch from being like kind of salaried, where I was doing like little odd jobs like front of house or like waitressing and stuff, and then just being like, no, you need to be completely freelance because you don't have time for those kind of little extra pockets of money, was also kind of like a big change, because then I had no like, what's it called? PAYE. I had none of that. It's all me, which is fun. Especially in just like, when is tax due? January. Yeah, woo. It's gonna be great when they're like, you think you've made money, but no,
that's true, you
didn't pay any tax, so we are taking it back, which is good. We should all pay tax, but it's never a good moment in time.
How long have you been freelance?
Properly freelance. So I've been kind of part freelance my whole working life because I graduated in 2019 and was like acting inside doing gigs. But I've been like properly no like part-time stuff. Maybe for like 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years. So not super long, but I guess it kind of felt like longer because I was really tapering away from the other job. So I was only making like $2,000 or something, or $3,000 off like the waitressing or whatever I was doing as a side hustle, or so it kind of felt like I was doing the bulk of that through being self-employed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess.
Yeah. And do you have a 5-year plan, or do you have an ultimate dream, or what's the vision for the future for yourself?
Oh, I'm actually, this is maybe controversial, I don't know. I don't plan at all. I don't have any goals. Okay. Because, like, who knows, right? Yeah. And I get to do stuff that I really like right now. So I'm like, this is all a win. And if, like, in a year's time I need to go and get, like, a big girl job and work in corporate or whatever, sure thing. But, like, lots of the goals they're funny, and the goalposts always move, right? So, like, I've done lots of cool things. I had my first, like, stage job, which was really cool. And I was like, yay, a goal. But then there's just new goals. And I filmed for, like, this year I filmed for Netflix, which was really cool. Wow. And that was obviously like a big goal. I say 4 lines, but I got paid for that. Hey. And it was great. And I was like, this is like a cool goal. And if I was telling my like 8-year-old self that you got to do those things, she'd be like, wow, that's amazing. So like everything's a win. Yeah. Right?
Absolutely. I think that's a great attitude.
Yeah.
And that probably helps minimize anxiety about expectations for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of my pals who have like, I think it's harder because I didn't come from a background in theatre like some of my peers did. Like they start at like 4 years old and they do like Tiny Tots drama school, and they're in like all of these really hardcore like drama for young people things. And I was like, I go to youth theatre and I maybe want to be a teacher or do psychology. I didn't really think I was going to get to do this as a job, so I think I'm in a different position from them because they've had those expectations their whole life of being like, I need to be on the West End to be a star. And I'm just like, everything is great because it's all a win, right? So It's really helpful to have that attitude, which is, I guess, why I kept it, because then nothing's a disappointment and everything's a win. Yeah. Because the whole thing's a win, right? Getting to work in something you like is just always a win. So got to make sure you know that and you're not just crying all the time, because it's a hard industry for some people. Yeah, that sounds very resilient and optimistic. Do you know where that came from? Does that come from family, or does that just, you've always been that way in your approach to things? Or have you honed that skill? Maybe I don't know. I think maybe it's a skill. I think generally optimism is good, because then otherwise things are not fun. Well, things are not fun, but they're less fun if you're, have bad thoughts and feelings, right, about things. And you can't stop those, but you can sort of twist things to remember that what you do have and what you are doing is good, like baseline in the whole world. Like, we are all very privileged people getting to do lovely things. And I definitely remember that a lot, so then I feel good about what I get to do, right? And I think that's important to like remember how gratitude is a great thing. I was gonna say that sounds like gratitude practice. And I think like I didn't actually like do any of the practicing properly, like those like guides which are like you can practice gratitude and whatever. I think I kind of did that maybe organically, or maybe because I was growing up through when a lot of adults were starting to practice that, right? Like a lot of media was like, be grateful for stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, that works, because it does, and it's great. Thinking back, any job, however young, what's the kind of worst job you've ever done, or most random? I was a shot girl. Shot girl. Yeah, so I loved it actually. Looking back, I did some risky things. So, this was before card machines were really popular. Things were only cash because of COVID. So I did it from like 2016 to maybe 2019 in drama school. And you wear like teeny dresses and you walk around holding shots and selling them to people. No, you sell them to people. Oh, right. So you sell Jaeger bombs and Skittle bombs to very, very drunk people in a club, which was, looking back on it, horrendous and not safe. But I had a great time and I made so much money. I'm actually writing a show about it right now because it was so random and funny. I love it. What's the show called? Or it's just called Shot Girls. Just called Shot Girls. So you did that for 3 years? I did it for 3 years because like drama school is quite a lot. Yeah. And then I would have like one day I could work, and like being a shot girl, you only had to work one Saturday a month to be on the like rota or whatever, right? Yeah. So I would kind of do every Saturday that I could, and you could choose when you work. And then like, if you're good at the job, because it's commission based, which is terrible. So if you're bad at the job, you make no money. But if you're good at the job, you can make a lot of money from very drunk men. And I loved it.
What made you good at the job?
Yeah, I think because I knew how to sell to whatever person I was selling to, right? And specific men maybe like it if they're the men that get to be like, why are you doing this? You're too beautiful for this job. And I'm like, I'm so poor. That's why I have to do it. And they're like, oh, I'll buy your shots. They're like, you know, if it's the girls in the bathroom, you're like, oh my gosh, I love your dress. Like, super nice. Like, I'm not very threatening or intimidating. And so I did well with like most customers, because the guys, they're quite easy to work, and the girls, if you're too like gorgeous, they kind of get a bit upset about it. So some of the girls that were really, really like beautiful couldn't sell to girls because they would just make them feel threatened, or I don't know, but I was like sort of like bubbly enough to get away with selling to all the people, and potentially clever enough to manipulate everybody, which is actually what it is. It's just manipulating people who are very, very drunk to give them your money. It's got nothing to do with anything else. But I had a great time.
I love it. And you didn't feel you were okay to kind of just see the job for what it was, play your part.
Yeah, for me it was really like big performance energy. Yeah,
it sounds
right?
like theatre.
So yeah, so when they're like telling you that you're super sexy, or like that they want to take you home or whatever, right? For me, it's not me. It's the shot girl version of me that's doing this job that's super in control and super powerful, and it's like, no, but buy a Jaeger bomb and maybe. And I guess like that energy, it was a really eye-opening job, right? For me as a person, but I did love it. I learned a lot from it, whether it was actually safe or not, or I was ever.
But you're okay.
Really empowered, who knows? But I had a great time.
I mean, you sound empowered to me.
Yeah, that's why we're writing a show about it.
Exactly. I can't wait to see that show when it enters the stage, or however
how long it takes.
Yeah,
we'll
how
see.
long it takes. Brilliant. Some of these questions, because you're new in your career journey, and I love your approach to kind of being so open to whatever comes and enjoying whatever is in front of you, and not being too wrapped up in some version of what you think success looks like, because you seem quite open to what happens. Some of these questions don't suit you.
Oh, you can still try. You can still try and ask me.
Yeah, I guess how do you personally balance your professional ambition with contentment?
Oh yes, hard, right? That, I guess, is making sure, I think, because obviously my personal ambition with my career and being content in life is kind of all wrapped up in one, because it's really contenting. It makes you feel really contented, yeah, to do the job that I do. But also, I need to remember that to make sure that I feel content in other parts of my life as well, which does definitely suffer. Like when you are like, get to do a job that you like, that does make you feel really good and like creative and fills all of these pies, right?
Yeah.
You get all the good pies. The pie of like personal life,
yeah,
so it feels less important and very small, because everything else is super good. So it's trying to just make sure that I have like people in my life, or like stuff that I do that is nothing to do with my work, that still makes me feel as good as my work does. Yeah. Because, you know, theatre is precarious and it could all go away because there's no money. So I need to make sure that there's like other stuff I can look to and be like, yes, all of that also makes me feel very fulfilled, and it has nothing to do with my job.
That sounds very wise to me, that you are more than your work, and then figuring out what that is, and making sure you're paying attention to that at this young age I'm impressed. I feel like it's a good message for people. I really do, honestly. When's the last time you experienced awe or a state of flow?
A lot. Awe is great. Awe happens a lot in theatre, just because people are great and amazing. think some of the stuff it can do for people is really mind blowing. Like when you get to see the people who, I don't know, I'll cry because it's lovely. But yeah, you can see like the benefit of your work with people who maybe thought they couldn't access it or like think it was for them. And that's always very special, especially when it's like young people or like older people who have like, I've never seen a show before, but I saw myself on stage today, and that's like a nice thing to get to give to people.
Yeah.
It's like a very big gift. So that always makes me feel like, wow. And also just like people are super kind and nice in like what I work in. So I guess like people are always like, oh, it's terrible and it's like bitchy and competitive and all that. But my experience of it in Scotland has always been like really welcoming and safe and amazing. So that's just like all lovely. And it makes me cry because I'm like, I'm so lucky I get to do it and be a part of that. That's a very special thing.
That is lovely. Help me understand those tears. Like what are you feeling? Like what is that? Is that because you have touched so many people through your theatre, through your writing, or is it working with young people? Is it both?
I think it's just all of it. Like it's all super weighted, like, and big. And you can, I don't know, I think it's when you get to touch people personally, that's always a special thing. And you get to tell so many stories of people who, you know, like last week we were doing a big project about community hospitals and nursing, and, you know, being able to bring nurses in and chat to them and have them see themselves like represented, and like the work that they do, they got to see it shown in like a really positive, special light about how much care and how hard it is to do that job, right? And you get to give people windows into like their own experience or experiences they've never seen before. And I guess doing both of those things for somebody is nice because they can say like, oh, I got to see myself in that theatre production, and I also know that people are seeing me. And that's when people say things like that, that's really special. So I guess it feels, I cry because I feel like really lucky that I get to do that. I'm very grateful for it. And I also just think like people are really good like as a whole, and like that's just very nice.
That is very nice. And that storytelling piece, I guess, to be able, I suppose for you as an actor, being able to experience those roles, so like even Shot Girl, like you got to put on a suit, right? and feel maybe differently than you would normally feel in your day-to-day life. But then that's an opportunity to tell a story of someone else's perspective, which then obviously as a viewer opens their minds and eyes up a bit. And
it's cool. And I'm like, obviously, as you can probably tell, huge massive empath, like huge big empath, but I really like that about myself. And like we all cry a lot in theatre because everybody's big empaths, so we all sit there and we're like, it's amazing, right? And I think, you know, giving people the opportunity to be in touch with themselves like that, or feel like they can be that in tune with themselves and with other people too, is like a really nice thing. Because I think maybe I don't have much experience of like other industries, but from my understanding of them, nobody has like a crying circle where they all share their feelings at 4:45 after we've done a drama exercise, right? So I don't know, I think it's really healthy. Like I think it's really good to be able to cry and to feel great about things and to see hard things through different lenses and to experience them and to think about them and to like build empathy for yourself and for people, right? And I think that's why I'm passionate about doing it, because I'm like, it's so good, and then it helps everybody like feel stuff. And people don't feel stuff in as much in like when they work in normal stuff or normal-ish jobs, right? I'm sure lots of jobs make you feel big things, but they usually make you feel big things because they're hard. Like the nurses have to feel big things because people are dying, and that's hard. Whilst I get to feel big things and feel the joy of that too. And I think, how do we get everybody to have a big crying circle, you know? Really.
Do you think theatre should be in the national curriculum?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, even if they don't like it, I think I don't know, because I didn't do it at school, which I always think is really funny. I didn't ever choose it at school because I was like, it's not academic. Like, what am I going to do with my theatre A-level or National 5 or whatever it was National 5. So I didn't do it. I did music though. and I did art. And I think, especially with the younger children, like when they're in high school, it's harder. They all have their big different walls of hormones and stuff, which I think my wall only went down at like 21 or something, maybe 22. I was suddenly like, oh, I love my mum. She's great. She does so much for me. What was wrong with me for 10 years of being like, you're horrible? I was like, oh, you're excellent. But yeah, sidetracking a wee bit. Yeah, I think if they want to do it, I think anything community building should be available for young people. And whether that's in sport or like music or art, all of those things are kind of together in like building community. And I think that's the thing that you lose when you kind of grow up or grow out of these things. So trying to hold on to that for young people and for older people or all people for as long as possible is like a special thing.
Yeah.
But like, even if it's not theatre, even if it's painting or singing or doing like football, like all the people that do walking football, it's great. I'm like, that looks like super fun and you're all having a great time.
Yeah.
And that's your community of people, right? So any of those things are good.
I love it. You sound like a treasure, and your students are so very lucky to have you.
Oh yeah, they're super cute. They're great.
Love it. Thank you so much. I enjoyed this conversation a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers, Anna.
To hear more about Tribe Porty and Keystone, you can find us on all social media platforms. Please head over to our website and subscribe to our newsletters, which includes monthly blogs to provide helpful insights into how we craft our working lives. This has been Working for Progress. We hope you join us again.